Well, this year the Krugerrand is celebrating its 50-year anniversary, and since its inception back in 1967, it's established itself as one of South Africa's most enduring brands in the global gold bullion investment industry, with more than 53 million ounces of gold having been sold in the form of Krugerrands. With its increasing demand, popularity and value comes fraudsters who are in the game to just make a quick buck. Now, to help us unpack the Krugerrands' 5 decades of this momentous milestone, I'm joined in studio by Tumi Tsehlo. He is the CEO of the South African Mint, and with him is Executive Head of Marketing at Rand Refinery, Richard Collocott. Very good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Tumi, I'll start with you. 5 decades, geez, what a milestone.
Absolutely. This is why we had to do some very special things for 2017. Actually, we started doing some things in 2016 already.
And tell us about some of those things.
Commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Krugerrand. So the first thing that we did was to actually recreate the very original coin that was made in 1967 with exactly the very same dies that were used in 1967, and we reproduced it as it is. And then we made it available in very limited quantities in 1,967 of these coins, which
wow.
We sold out very, very quickly. Coming into 2017, we had to step it up quite a bit. And so the most amazing thing that we did do was the largest Krugerrand ever produced, which is a 50 ounce. That is about 1.5 kilograms, well, 1.6 kilograms of gold, just in one coin.
And I know you did say that's the one you bought for me today, but we'll get to that.
Yes, well, we still need to get to that point, yes.
Richard, I mean, the Krugerrands are the most widely traded gold coins in the world. Do you maybe have a figure for us in terms of that?
Because since inception in 1967, we have produced about 53 million ounces of gold in the form of Krugerrands, and that's more than 60 million pieces. Which is quite a lot. By far the most prolific gold coin in the world.
And would you say the demand for it is quite strong, or have you sort of seen it grow over the years as the brand became stronger and people started seeing the value in having Krugerrands?
Well, it has been phenomenal in the last couple of years, what we've seen in terms of growth of the brand. If you look 4 years ago, we were in 3rd or 4th place in the world, but in 2016 the Krugerrand reclaimed its position as the top selling bullion coin in the world, with over 1.1 million ounces sold in 2016. So, you know, the Krugerrand has a very long legacy for trust, for reliability, and for tradability, but we've seen a resurgence in demand, in particular in the last 2 or 3 years.
All right, Tumi, talk to us about the 50-year anniversary. I know that there are some limited edition products. Tell us all about those exciting developments as we celebrate this milestone.
So, I mean, the idea was to actually, you know, Krugerrand is very important for investors that want to purchase it for their gold value. But it's also very interesting to collectors. And so we have them also in limited quantities. And to appeal to that specific market, I spoke about the 50 ounce that we made. We also have a 5 ounce, which is, you know, 5 times the size of a typical Krugerrand, which is a 1 ounce. And then on the small side, the smallest coin we've made for this particular year is a 1/50th and a 1/20th. So that, you know, on the more affordable side, people can also participate. But the most exciting thing for me personally has been issuing the first ever in 50 years, in the 50-year history of the Krugerrand, issuing the first ever silver Krugerrand, which we've issued in 2 types. One is a very high quality product called a proof coin. We've made only 15,000 of those. But we actually wanted a very wide reach of this coin, the silver, and so we also made them in what we call premium uncirculated, and we've made 1 million of these available.
All right.
And the idea is that as many people as possible would be able to own one. Yes.
Now, very briefly, you spoke about the appeal. I want to talk more about the brand strength or the appeal of this brand. What has been at the center of this brand that's helped it last so long in the market?
Look, I'll give my own opinion, and I'm sure Richard would have a view about it as well. Krugerrand is clearly a South African brand, but it is popular internationally, and it is known. So people, when they want to talk about a gold coin, actually, they say Krugerrand, right? Everywhere around the world, it's very strong in Germany. It is very, very strong in the United States. So it's a South African brand, but so many other people internationally own the brand. And so this is the reason why we need to nurture it. It is a very important part of South Africa's legacy, but it's international.
All right. Richard, what in your experience would you say is the single most compelling argument to convince just the average person to invest in a Krugerrand?
I think the most compelling argument is all about trust, reliability, and tradability. So the Krugerrand being consistent for 50 years means that you can place your trust in that brand. There are no gimmicks and there are no tricks. In particular with the bullion product, it's highly liquid, which means your costs of transacting are very low. And of course, it's underwritten by the South African Reserve Bank. So it's government guaranteed, it's highly liquid, it's recognized and traded everywhere, and it is a good physical investment gold product.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for making time to come through this morning. We heard from the CEO of the South African Mint, Tumi Tsehlo, and with him is the Executive Head of Marketing at Rand Refinery, Richard Collocott. They were speaking to us about the 50-year anniversary celebration of the Krugerrand, as well as giving us important pointers on how to invest and, of course, avoid fraudsters because they are everywhere. Well, time for